What's going on, YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to talk about Superman issue number 32. This one's written by Joshua Williamson, and the artwork is done by, who is it done by? Eddie Barrows and Eber Ferreira. But basically, at the end of the last issue, Lois Lane kind of regained her powers as Superwoman because she had lost them beforehand. Several issues ago, before the DC KO tie event, event kind of started taking place. This issue also is kind of overlapping with various aspects of issue 2 of DC KO and a few other stuff going on. But she regains her powers kind of temporarily, and Superboy Prime is just kind of having a good time about all this stuff that's going on. He even finds out about a death tournament, and I'm missing out on it. Why can't I be there? Superboy Prime is probably my favorite part of this whole issue. The way he kind of breaks the fourth wall a few times. Well, it's an event, Lois. You're probably going to lose him in a second. Just bring a bit of self-aware humor to the events of it. We also see what was going on with Lex Luthor and kind of what led to more of their clashing. Basically, he was disappointed. Him and the others were going to be sent to the Phantom Zone. Even though him and Superman have kind of fought each other, he figured he would have probably needed his help. And he was very disappointed by Superman for not just kind of reaching out to him. This is the end of the world. So he takes himself and does a few bits of manipulation to kind of get various members of the Legion of Doom and Suicide Squad to make their way into the tournament themselves so that they can combat this threat that's going on. So yeah, and then characters like the Joker also pop up as well, and he just adds a bit of chaos to the mix, which that's what I enjoy sometimes when we get the Legion of Doom and have Joker thrown in there from time to time and all their kind of infighting and stuff. But they make their way to the tournament, and like I said, some of the stuff overlaps what happened. Lex kind of got his own power-ups for that. If you want to know more about that, you can check out the DCKO thing. There's some funny moments again with Superboy Prime here where they're fighting the Legion of Darkseid and all that, but then Superboy Prime goes to kind of get some help while Lois is dealing with this, and he comes back with what you think is Superman, but it's really just kind of the Superman robots, the cyborg Supermans and all that other stuff, to kind of go and try to take down Darkseid and save the world. So there you go. That's basically what happens here. So all in all, a pretty fun issue. Superboy Prime was the highlight. I did like seeing a little bit more of Lex and the Legion of Doom in this thing. He finally shaves his beard to try and get back to a bit more of his former self. And at least he shaved his beard, because he had a beard beforehand, didn't he? Unless I'm losing track of something, or maybe he just kind of cleaned himself up. No, he did have a beard at one point, if I'm not mistaken, but then he kind of changed it. Yep, there, it looks like he had one right there. So, but regardless, he's clean shaven, back to the old Lex Luthor, and then now it's gonna go from there into the DCKO stuff. So, but all in all, I enjoyed this one. Probably of the tie-ins, I like this one and Flash the most. The Aquaman was pretty decent. Justice League Unlimited was enjoyable too. But I think this one, because it's a more Superman-focused one, I was a little bit more in tune with it. And plus, I've been reading Superman a bit more, so my connection to the title is a little bit stronger. And it's kind of cool to see, just Superboy Prime throughout this thing, and seeing all the different Superman, just the stuff that they kind of pull from this thing, and his disappointment with not being there for the death tournament. He's like, oh, that should have been me. So I like that aspect too. Yes, we're going back to Lex Luthor as just the main antagonist villain again. We always just go back to the status quo. I'm at the point now with this thing, I feel like we've done the Lex babyface turn. He turns heel and face more times than the Big Show does. That's a deep cut reference for pro wrestling fans. Because it's okay, now I'm going to be on the good side for a little bit. Now I'm back to being a villain. But now I'm back to the good side. But now I'm back to the villain. My God, dude, just make up your mind. If you want to be a villain, be the best villain. Or maybe we'll just kind of have you in that constant gray area. I don't know with Lex Luthor half the time. Because it feels okay, we're finally making progress, and then we're back to the status quo. Make up your mind already. So, or maybe that's just in Luthor's nature. He's always going to be that way. So, I don't know, but I'm just if you're gonna make him a villain now, just kind of stick with it. We've gone back and forth so many times, it's just kind of exhausting at this point. So, but all things considered, pretty enjoyable thing. Superboy Prime was the highlight, and it's cool to see Lois get her powers back temporarily. I don't want it full time, because I like Lois Lane being Lois Lane, and the Superwoman thing is a nice temporary thing every once in a while. So maybe just for this event, and then she goes back to just being Pulitzer Prize winner, the best damn journalist, Lois Lane. So yeah. Okay, well, that's all I have to say about this particular issue. DCKO, thumbs up for me so far. I'm actually liking it. Is it the best thing I've ever read? No, but we are in the stages of a pretty solid event that's going on right now. Just gonna be a matter of time before they find some way to mess it up, I'm sure. But hey, we'll just have to kind of wait and see until then. So, but what did you think of the issue? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to your channel for more content, hit the bell for notification, all the other fun stuff. I'll be back again probably tomorrow. I got to see what comic books are coming out this week. Hopefully it's not as much of an onslaught as last week, because it was just kind of a mad rush to get a lot of these things done today. I probably should just work on getting these things done like over the weekend. It just, when there's so many, you're like, okay, you got to read it, you got to like let it process, blah, blah, blah. And then we're into this thing. And then it's when it's an event, there's so many more books to cover, but you know, we'll get this stuff done. I am kind of disappointed they're not doing one of those like DC Santa comic books that they did the last 2 years. I thought that was fun, but apparently not this year. You could have done the trilogy, but you didn't. So, but that's a discussion for another day. So, also happy December, everyone. So, hope that's a good month for everyone as we close out the year. Hopefully pretty strong. But, yep, that's all I have to say. Thanks so much for watching. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.